It's another day in lockdown and it's another kit. So let's have a look at this one. Bought this actually December last year, just haven't got around to making it yet. So while we're not doing anything, thought I'd give it a blast. If I can get the circuit board out of the bag. Right, okay, so this is a LED flashing bell. There's a bell this side and a bell this side, and it flashes alternate either side. There's a couple of transistors here and a couple of capacitors that do the actual switching and the timing. Lots and lots of LEDs, lots and lots of resistors. So look at the components. There's the two capacitors. There's the two transistors, power switch, LEDs are here, power, and here's the lots and lots of resistors that we've got to do. So let's have a quick look at the circuit board, shall we? So just got to bring my full magnifying glass over so I can see. Okay, so on here we've got 2.2k resistors all the way around. We've got two 20k resistors in the middle, 5.1 down there, and a 470 up there. Well, that's odd because we've got all these resistors and all these. Now I'm presuming that these are the 2.2 that go all the way around. But these are different to those. Even I can tell that the colours on these are different. But we've only got a couple of different types. So let's get the tester out. Right, to make it easier for myself, I just added a little cable there and a clip there so we can test these. So rather than taking it off the actual holder, so let's put that on there. Let's hold that one on. Test it. 21. Okay, so that could be a 22. So there's two 20s up there. But I can't see any more. Okay. So what are these two? Five, 6, 5, 2. Well, that will be the two 5.1s, I would say, down there. And this one, I would presume then, is the 470. Yeah, so that's the 470. Well, that means it can be quite a lot of extra resistors, because I can only see two 20s, two 5.1s and one 470. In there. Okay, well, let's build it. Right, I've already put the 470 in, as you saw before, so let's get these two in. These are the 5s. In fact, what I'll do, just double check that. Yeah, So let's pop those in. Okay, let's get them soldered up. Right, just got them done. Okay, so while we're here then, let's do the two capacitors. Long leg, short leg, long leg positive, short leg negative. Shady side is the negative side. We've got a shady side here, but we've got a negative sign here, shady side positive here. I'm going to go with the shaded on these, even though it says negative to the right. I think it's positive to the right. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put that in. And the other one, the same. Positive on the left. So it's the opposite way around to the one on the right. Very close together, these. Okay, you're supposed to lay them flat, but I haven't. I've left them standing up, so but that's okay. It's not a problem. Right. Next thing we'll do is the transistors. Again, these are the now they're not showing. Oh, that's somebody at the door. Back in a minute. Right, as I was saying before, so rudely interrupted by the postman. There's no actual showing on the circuit board which way around it goes, but again I'm going to assume that the square is the actual rounded side and the flat goes to the middle. Again, I think you're supposed to bend these flat, but because I left the capacitor standing up, I'm going to leave these standing up as well. Okay, that's got them done. And while we're here, we've got the two 20k resistors, which we think are these two on this sort of biggish roll here. So let's try them two. It could be wrong. We'll soon know later on. Okay, so let's get them two done. So the next thing I'm going to do is all the 2.2 resistors all the way around. They are on this bigger strip of resistors that I've got. I'm not going to make you sit there and watch them all being soldered up. They're all over the board, so I shall come back to you in a minute. Right, that's got all the resistors done. I haven't come across any others that I've missed, so I can only assume that they've oversupplied on those other ones. So these are the 2.2s, so I've got a couple of spares on there, the rest of them are all gone. So that's all the resistors done, capacitors, transistors done. So the last thing to put on is to switch the DC power supply and all the LEDs. Let's have a quick look at the LEDs. Right. So we've got some red ones in here. Right, okay, so let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is that? Seems a bit odd, there's 9, surely should be 10. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so there must be an odd spare one. I must admit I have cheated slightly. I have looked on the internet because I wasn't quite sure where all these went. Let me get my little pointer. Right, okay, so we have D25, which is here, and we have a line going at 1, 2, 3, 4. So those 4 are red. And the other one, it starts at D29, which is there, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those 4 there are also red. So 4 and 4 is 8, we've got 9, so we've got a spare one. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the actual markings on the circuit board. Right, okay, so it's not going to tell us which is plus and which is minus. We've still got round, normally it's a square, which is plus, but we've got the image on there, which is a triangle and a line, which is the anode and cathode. Very difficult to read, actually. Very difficult to see. But on this one you can see the triangle, so the base of the triangle is this side, which is a plus, and the line is that side. So I'm going to assume because that line's going that way, that's a plus, so it's opposite, so plus this side, plus this side, ground on the outside. Hope you can see that. Alright, sorry, I didn't realise the camera wasn't in the right way. So the arrow is pointing that way, so plus on this side, ground on this side, and the opposite way around here. So I'm going to assume, so I've got my LED, long leg, short leg. Long leg is positive, long leg goes to the base of the triangle, so it goes that way around. Okay, let's get them soldered up. Right, so as you can see, we've got a little solder bridge. So let's see if we can clean that out. Clean the end of my soldering iron. There we go, that's better. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so there we go, that's got the red LEDs in. Now the next job is to get all the rest of the LEDs in, and it's going to take me a while, so I shall not bore you with watching that. I'll get all these on. Again, it's going to be quite difficult looking at some of the images on the circuit board here, but by the looks of things, the majority, not all of them, but the majority is positive on the right, positive on the left, so it's that kind of a mirror image. Yeah, it looks, there's some pointing downwards, some pointing upwards, excuse me, so it's going to be a bit of fun, but let's give it a blast. Right, you join me on the last two LEDs to go in. That one there and that one there. Quickly solder these two up. There, that's got all the LEDs done. Right, so as you can see, that's all the LEDs done. So the only thing we've got left now is the on-off switch, which goes down there, and the power supply, which is there. Right, let's get the board turned around. So let's get the DC jack put on first. That's got 3 connections on it. Let's get a bit of blue tack. Shove that on the corner like that, just to hold it in place while we solder it up. Now you have to keep the soldering iron on for a little bit longer because the bigger pads will take a lot more heat out. There we go. And the last thing to go on then is the switch. Just down this corner here. Again, let's get a bit of blue tack. There we go, just going to hold it in place. Okay, let's clean my soldering iron. Let's get a bit dirty after doing all those LEDs. Alright, let's try that again. That's better. Yeah, let's got that one done. Get rid of the blue tack. Okay, so that's everything done on that. Next thing to do is to power it up. Right, so I've got a plug adapter here, and the cable with the line is a plus. And I've got my power supply at the back. I think it's set for 5 volts. Turn the big lights off. Let's give it a blast. Okay, so we've got some LEDs that are not working, just around here. Got some around here that's not working. The rest of them look like they're working okay. The red ones here are working, red ones here are working. I've got 4.5 volts. Let's just turn it up a little bit to 5 volts. Okay. So looking round, it's just these few here. So let's have a look at those. Well, I spent quite a while trying to diagnose why these LEDs aren't working. That's these here. These are all linked together, so they all should come on at the same time. I think they're supposed to be connected to this row here, but I've got a slight problem because it just doesn't work. Let me show you. Right, so we have a test point down here, which is the ground, and we can test the points on the circuit board. As you can see, that shows a value. That's a plus, that's a plus, and that's a plus. So there's definitely power going there. But it's not flashing. So what we can also do is we have a spare LED. We can test this to make sure it works all right. There we go. That works working all right. So we know that for example, on this one, the bottom one is plus. So if I hold the LED on the pads, it should light up, but it's not, as you can see. So I really don't know why they're not working. Now I can trace the line on the circuit board, and it goes up to that LED up there, so we know that that one's working. And also I can, on the other side, I can check the line on the circuit board, and it goes up to this LED here, and we know that one's working. So these three should work, and that one as well. That one should be working as well, but they're not. So I'm a bit stumped as to why they're not working. Everything looks like it's in place. I've checked to make sure that the LEDs are the right way around. I've checked to make sure that everything else is soldered in place. So I'm a bit stuck. So I'll finish it there. I'll say that this is almost working, not quite. It is a LED bell and it does flash. Let me just turn the bigger lights out to make it easier. There we go. So yeah, it's an LED that sort of works, apart from a few LEDs down there. I'll dig the circuit diagram out and see if I can find any more information about it.